Your body is like a big machine with trillions of parts, all working together to keep you alive and functioning. But have you ever wondered how all those parts work together? Well, it's all thanks to your nervous system. Your nervous system is like the control center of your body, sending signals from your brain to every part of your body, telling them what to do. And it's all done through a network of nerves. In this first episode of our Crash Course Anatomy and Physiology series, we're going to explore your nervous system and see how it works. We'll also learn about the different parts of the nervous system and what they do. So let's get started. First off, let's talk about the brain. The brain is like the CEO of your body, making decisions and sending out instructions. But how does the brain communicate with the rest of the body? Well, that's where neurons come in. Neurons are specialized cells that carry messages back and forth between the brain and the rest of the body. They're kind of like the mail carriers of your body, delivering important information to keep everything running smoothly. Neurons are also the main cells of the nervous system. They're kind of like the employees of the nervous system, carrying out the important work of communication and control. Now, neurons are pretty fascinating. They can transmit messages at lightning-fast speeds, allowing you to react quickly to changes in your environment. For example, if you touch a hot stove, neurons in your nervous system will send signals to your brain in less than a second, allowing you to quickly pull your hand away before you burn yourself. But neurons aren't the only cells in the nervous system. There are also neuroglia, which are supportive cells that help neurons function. Neuroglia provide structure and protection for neurons, as well as nutrients and help remove waste products. They're like the office staff of the nervous system, keeping things organized and running smoothly. Now that we've met the key players in the nervous system, let's take a closer look at how they work. Neurons transmit messages using electrical and chemical signals. When a neuron is at rest, it maintains an electrical charge across its cell membrane. This is known as the resting membrane potential. When a neuron receives a stimulus, such as a signal from another neuron or a change in the environment, it can trigger a response. If the stimulus is strong enough to reach the threshold, the neuron will generate an action potential. This is a brief electrical signal that travels down the neuron's axon. Once the action potential reaches the end of the axon, the neuron releases chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. These neurotransmitters travel across a small gap known as the synapse to the next neuron, where they bind to receptors, triggering a new electrical signal. This process of communication between neurons is essential for the proper functioning of the nervous system. It allows for the transmission of information throughout the body, enabling us to perceive and respond to our environment. The human nervous system is a complex and highly organized network that coordinates actions and transmits signals throughout the body. It's made up of two main parts, the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system, or CNS, consists of the brain and spinal cord. The brain is the control center of the body, responsible for processing sensory information, making decisions, and controlling movement. It's also involved in higher-level functions such as thinking, learning, and memory. The spinal cord is a long bundle of nerves that extends from the brain down the back. It serves as the main communication pathway between the brain and the rest of the body. The spinal cord is also responsible for certain reflexes, which are automatic responses to stimuli. The peripheral nervous system, or PNS, is made up of all the nerves that branch out from the spinal cord and extend to all parts of the body. The PNS is responsible for carrying messages between the CNS and the rest of the body. It also controls voluntary movements, such as walking and talking, as well as involuntary movements, such as the beating of the heart. The peripheral nervous system can be further divided into two parts, the somatic nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. The somatic nervous system controls voluntary movements of the skeletal muscles. It allows us to consciously control our movements, such as walking, talking, and writing. The autonomic nervous system, on the other hand, controls involuntary movements, such as the beating of the heart and the digestion of food. It operates without conscious control and helps maintain homeostasis in the body. The autonomic nervous system can be further divided into the sympathetic and parasympathetic divisions. The sympathetic nervous system is responsible for the fight or flight response, which occurs when the body is under stress. It prepares the body for action by increasing heart rate, blood pressure, and the release of adrenaline. The parasympathetic nervous system, on the other hand, is responsible for the rest and digest response. It calms the body down, slowing the heart rate and promoting relaxation. So that's a quick overview of the nervous system. Let's recap what we've learned. The nervous system is like the control center of the body, sending signals from the brain to every part of the body, telling them what to do. Neurons are the cells that carry these messages, and they use electrical and chemical signals to do it. The nervous system is made up of the central nervous system, which consists of the brain and spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system, which consists of all the nerves that branch out from the spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system can be further divided into the somatic nervous system, which controls voluntary movements, and the autonomic nervous system, which controls involuntary movements. Now that you know how the nervous system works, you can start to understand how it controls everything in the body. In the next episode of Crash Course Anatomy and Physiology, we lines dive deeper into the nervous system and explore the different types of neurons and how they communicate. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching this episode of Crash Course Anatomy and Physiology, which was filmed at a studio and made in partnership with a digital studio and nature. You want to help keep Crash Course free for everyone forever? You can join our community on a crowdfunding platform.